Like dating, especially in the DMV, has a rule book all its own.
The DMV.
Oh, right. That's DC, Maryland, Virginia.
Right.
For anyone new to the area.
Got it.
So today's deep dive, we're tackling this whole dating thing head on with this local YouTube guy, calls himself Big Country 53.
Okay.
And he's got some, shall we say, strong opinions about the dating scene here.
Strong opinions. How so?
Well, he's particularly focused on Maryland and basically says only a tiny percentage of women there are worth dating.
Wow. That's quite a statement.
Right. And he suggests men are having a particularly rough time, like there's this imbalance in what each gender is putting in.
Yeah, I see what you mean. It sounds like Big Country 53 might be coming at this from a very traditional viewpoint on dating.
Traditional how?
Well, where men are expected to be the ones who pursue, initiate, pay for everything, that kind of thing.
I getcha.
But it's interesting how that clashes with a place like the DMV, right? Where people are super career-driven, independent, and gender roles are, well, let's just say they're not exactly stuck in the past.
Yeah, and this clashes can lead to some pretty interesting dating stories.
Like that BBQ story Big Country 53 talks about.
Oh, you know about the BBQ incident.
How could I forget? It's become kind of legendary in certain circles.
He asks this woman he's seeing to a barbecue at his place. It sounds normal enough, right?
Sure.
But according to him, she shows up empty-handed, eats a ton of food, then takes leftovers, a bottle of wine when she leaves.
No way.
All without lifting a finger to help clean up or even acknowledging his effort.
Ouch.
Yeah, ouch is right. And then to make matters worse, he finds out later she's been bad-mouthing him to other people at the BBQ.
Oh, man, that's rough. It's important to remember that everyone's dating experience is different, right?
For sure.
It's just one person's story. But it does give you a glimpse into their mindset, how they see the dating world.
Totally. And it kind of plays into this whole thing Big Country 53 keeps bringing up about women and financial independence.
Right.
He's constantly saying how women, especially in a city like DC, are doing better than ever financially, which makes them, in his words, less reliant on men. And he seems to think this puts men at a disadvantage in the dating game.
It's like he's trying to understand how things have changed, how economics and gender roles are all mixed up now.
It's like he's stuck between the way things used to be and how they are now.
Exactly. It's that clash that's really fascinating. Even if you don't agree with his conclusions, it makes you think about these bigger forces shaping how we date, especially in places like the DMV.
It's like those same things that draw people to DC, ambition, independence that become part of the dating game too, which can be a good and bad thing, I guess.
And just when you think Big Country 53 couldn't get any more, shall we say, direct, he offers a solution.
Oh, and what's that?
He suggests that men should, and I'm quoting here, look outside their immediate cultural context for partners. He seems to be suggesting they might have better luck finding someone with more traditional values if they, look elsewhere.
I bet that raised a few eyebrows.
It's definitely walking a fine line. I mean, you can't just go around making generalizations about entire cultures, can you?
No, definitely not. It's important to remember that everyone's different, no matter their background.
Exactly. Dating values are personal, not some cultural monolith.
It's a good reality check. Just because someone has a YouTube channel doesn't mean they're speaking universal truths.
Exactly.
But it does make you think. Speaking of which, we found something pretty interesting while researching this episode. Something that involves another big country.
Wait, seriously? Another one?
Right, so get this, there's this podcast out there called The Big Country Roundtable.
You're kidding. Okay, that's got to be a coincidence, right?
Pure chance, we think, but come on, you gotta admit, the shared name is just too good to ignore. So this Big Country Roundtable podcast, it's a completely different vibe,
Different how?
It's like, imagine just chilling in a cozy living room, having a chat.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, the hosts, Jack and Sarah, they're really down to earth, and they talk about, everything and anything.
Really? Like what?
Let me see. Everyday stuff, relationships, even a little bit of spirituality thrown in there.
Interesting. So, not exactly the same headspace as our friend Big Country 53.
Not even close. It's wild, right? Like stumbling into two totally different worlds.
Yeah, it really makes you think about the range of voices out there.
On one hand, you've got Big Country 53 with his very specific, kind of cynical take on dating. And then on the other, you've got this whole roundtable crew just vibing and exploring life.
It makes you wonder, could it be the same big country behind both? A man of mystery, perhaps?
Maybe our boy Big Country 53 has a secret podcasting alter ego. The dating guru by day, the chill conversationalist by night.
Two sides of the same big country coin.
Exactly. But seriously, it does make you think about how we present ourselves online, right? Like different platforms, different personas.
For sure. What we see online is just a snapshot, a curated version of someone's reality.
Totally. And maybe Big Country 53's YouTube channel is just one side of him, while this whole other side is out there having these deep conversations about life and relationships.
It's a good reminder, really. We're all multifaceted,
Yeah.
There's more to us than meets the eye.
Couldn't agree more. But going back to Big Country 53 and his dating woes, it does make you wonder, is his experience unique to him? Or is he tapping into something bigger, something about the DC dating scene itself?
Now, that's the million-dollar question.
Right. Is there something about DC, this whole ambitious, driven atmosphere that breeds this kind of dating frustration?
It's an interesting thought. You've got this city full of ambitious, successful singles, all vying for connection.
It's like the mating market is on overdrive in DC.
Exactly. And that can create a lot of pressure. It's like you're always on, always
Mhm.
competing, even in your downtime.
No wonder someone like Big Country 53 might feel a little jaded. It's like the same qualities that draw people to DC, the drive, the ambition, those become part of the dating game too.
It's a double-edged sword. And then you add in all the changing dynamics around gender roles and expectations that we talked about earlier.
Right. It's a lot to process.
It is. And it makes you wonder if this is just a DC thing or if it's happening everywhere as we navigate this new era of dating.
That's the big question, isn't it? Is this just Big Country 53's reality, or is this modern dating in a nutshell? So we've gone from this one guy's dating gripes to like the whole DC dating scene and this mating market pressure cooker. What's the takeaway here? What can our listeners glean from all this?
Perspective is everything, right?
How so?
Well, Big Country 53, whether he knows it or not, he's given us this case study almost.
A case study.
Yeah, like how what happens to one person, their experiences, how those bump up against these big societal changes.
You mean like the whole gender roles thing, economic stuff?
Exactly. His frustrations, yeah, they come from his own life, his dates, but they also reflect what a lot of people are going through, these anxieties about dating today, especially in a place like DC. So go,
Always on.
Right. And it reminds you that dating's not happening in a vacuum. Like
Yeah.
It's all connected to how we were raised, what we value, money, what's expected of us, all of it.
It's like this big, messy web.
Totally.
Yeah.
And when you realize that everyone's bringing their own baggage to the table, so to speak, it helps,
Helps how?
You can be more understanding, communicate better, maybe even find relationships that actually work.
Or even just a better relationship with yourself, right?
100%. Because knowing what you need, what you want, that's the key.
Totally. It's like that saying, know thyself.
Right. And hey, maybe listening to different views, even the ones that make you cringe a little.
Oh, yeah, like Big Country 53.
Exactly. Maybe it makes you think differently,
What?
about yourself, about dating. Who knows? Maybe Big Country 53 is listening to us right now.
Imagine. Maybe he's got a good laugh about that whole Big Country connection.
I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe it'll even inspire him, right? Starts his own podcast, Big Country 53 Decoding Myself.
Now that I would listen to. But on a serious note, we've covered a lot. What's the one thing you want to leave our listeners with today?
Dating's tough. It can be confusing, frustrating, all of it.
No lie.
But it can also be amazing. You can learn so much about yourself, connect with people.
Find your person.
Exactly. So don't be afraid to, question what you think you know. Be open to new ideas.
Don't take yourself too seriously.
And remember, everyone, even our friend Big Country 53, is on their own journey.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And to everyone listening, hope this deep dive gave you something to think about, maybe even shifted your perspective a bit.
That's what we're here for.
If you've got your own Big Country 53 story, we want to hear it. Until next time.
Happy dating.